Спасибо, Николай Николаевич. Было действительно очень информативно прошла.
Thank you, Nikolai Nikolaevich. Indeed, this session was extremely informative. In two groups, we reviewed topics associated with trade in investments and technology and innovations in the second group. And I would like to ask whether all people from the second group have already joined our plenary session or not.
Yes, sir, we have already joined.
Okay, then with your permission, I would like to continue. In these two groups, we are focusing on promoting sub-regional, regional trade and investments, as well as technology and innovation transfer. Advanced methods and innovative approaches were also discussed. Of course, COVID-19 pandemic has its impact, negative one, on investment activities. And on this topic, it is also very important to exchange opinions in the area of technology, science, innovations. I would like to express my hope that the cooperation between the member states will be further continued and enhanced. This speaks to the fact about the need for cooperation in trade, digital transformations, building up new trade corridors, in particular between the countries. We have already outlined the importance of cooperation under the framework of international organizations and between the countries. Of course, there were a number of agreements concluded on trade and investments and scientific technical cooperation in bilateral format. However, we have to activate our cooperation in the framework and under the auspices of international multilateral organizations as well. Further on, Natalia, would you like to add something from your side, please?
No, but I think we maybe want to hear the summaries from the breakout sessions from the reporters, from the rapporteurs, or?
Да, и хорошо, давайте тогда докладчику.
All right, let us give a chance to the reporters from two different groups, and that is why I would like to pass a microphone to the next speaker in this regard.
So maybe we can start with Mr. Nikolai Pomoshnikov.
Okay, dear colleagues, I would like to inform honorable participants that it was very interesting and lively discussion during the session, breakout session 1 on trade and investment. It was very interesting ESCAP presentation made by Vitada and Venica on trade and investment situation in Asia and the Pacific. And the main message of this presentation was that it is still great potential exists in Asia and the Pacific for integration of North and Central Asia into wider region, Asia and the Pacific, because North and Central Asia has only 60 agreements, trade agreements out of 300 and more existing agreements in Asia and the Pacific. So there is a huge potential for growth in this regard and for development, trade and investment initiatives in North and Central Asia. We also had a number of presentations from sub-regional organizations. Economic Cooperation Organization highlighted the importance of eco trade agreement for our member states, trade facilitation measures, and elimination of non-tariff barriers in the sub-region. Among the important agreement, it was also mentioned agreement on promotion and protection of investment, EPI agreement. And it was also highlight the importance of regional value chains, which need to be strengthened and expanded. So, and one more message, lack of complementarities in trade doesn't prevent for strengthening our cooperation in trade and investment areas because of this great potential there. And it was mentioned that memorandum of understanding between ESCAP and Economic Cooperation Organization is under finalization, and we expect to be signed soon by two leaders of our organizations. Karek ADB also explained about huge potential about sustainable recovery and growth, the measures taken by ADB for Karek member states facilitation. It was mentioned COVID-19 vaccine program, support to women and vulnerable groups provided by ADB, gender and sustainable tourism strategy adopted recently, and two more strategies, Karek strategies, Karek health strategy and Karek digital strategy adopted this year. So some other areas for strengthening cooperation includes climate resilience, transport connectivity, and cross-border paperless trade. So this is also very important for our member states. Kazinvest highlighted the export and investment potential of Kazakhstan for strengthening cooperation. It mentioned One Belt, One Road initiative and a number of new tools, which are very attractive for new investors coming to Kazakhstan. Eurasian Economic Commission also highlighted a number of measures taken by Commission for promoting trade and investment in the sub-region, and among these points, it was mentioned that integration is one of the priority areas for strengthening cooperation, and promotion of industrial cooperation, development funds use for different projects are very important. Also, free trade agreements with Eurasian Economic Commission and other countries in the different sub-regions mentioned as very important. 20 MOUs signed by Eurasian Economic Commission with other organizations, and One Belt, One Road initiatives were among the important initiatives mentioned during this dialogue. So this is the major points, and the main message as I already mentioned, is that we need to strengthen our partnership and cooperation for trade and investment promotion in North and Central Asia. Thank you.
Спасибо, господин Помощников. И вы
Thank you,
действительно...
Mr. Pomoshnikov. You just touched upon such important issue as integration. It's really important for all countries. And further on, I would like to pass the floor to Mr. Syed Ahya Akhlaqi, just to share results and his thoughts. Thank you.
Господин Ахлаки,
Mr. Akhlaqi,
можете ли вы
can you please
делиться результатами?
share the results and the outcomes, your thoughts about them?
Может быть, в связи с техническими
Maybe due to some technical issues,
по техническим причинам, может быть,
Mr. Akhlaqi will join us later. Then I would like to pass the floor to Madam Michiko. Madam Michiko Inamoto, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Atayev. So we have a very, very animated session for the breakdown room 2. We discuss on technology and innovations. We have a very balanced speakers from international organization, from development bank, startup, IT company, educational institution, and public association. So it has been understood that North and Central Asia is progressing very well in terms of ICT infrastructure. However, to go one step ahead to make this ICT infrastructure useful in the level of innovation and to develop a knowledge-based economy and to recover better from the COVID-19 pandemic, we need to go one step further. We need to do innovation and innovative usage of innovative technologies. In order to do that, the cooperation, coordination, and partnership is very, very essential. So it is easy to say, however, as a basis of the cooperation, we need the trust and understood the culture. And we cannot even implement foreign technologies. We have to adapt to the local. And we have to understand national and international policies. And also involvement of youth in technological innovation is important. What is also important is a cross-border data collaboration to advance innovation, and also regulatory cooperation for setting common standards between the different countries in the region. Of course, in the area of the research cooperation is important, and also the discussion for the interoperable policy framework is important. And above all, we also have to think about inclusive aspect of this ICT and innovation cooperation, so that we will leave no one behind. So we also have a very interesting perspective from the technology startup company. And he has shared the challenges he has faced, like bureaucratic barriers, and also the challenges to have a good understanding and agreement with the local authorities. So such a socially oriented IT startup company is very important for the development of Central Asia. I think in this aspect, also the cooperation and the collaboration and partnership between the entrepreneurs, local authority, and also involvement of the policymakers For example, like development of the cloud-based data center is not achievable in one company. So it definitely have a involvement of the policy level support. So overall, we all agreed for the importance of the cooperation and the collaboration and partnership to advance the cross-border ICT and innovation in the region. And we also have concrete recommendations from the Eurasian Development Bank to jointly develop some research project so that we save money, we share the expertise. So it was a wonderful session, and I think the participants really benefited from the views from different stakeholders. Thank you very much.
Спасибо, уважаемые.
Thank you very much, distinguished speakers, distinguished moderators. And of course, innovations are very important. And sharing innovations and scientific knowledge really very important for the development, not only for scientific technical development, but for economic component of any country. Thank you very much. And now I would like to pass the floor over to Natalia for her announcements.
Thank you so much, dear Mr. Atayev. So as already customary during the forum, this is the last one. We would like to kindly ask all participants, including the speakers, to please fill out our evaluation questionnaire. The links are posted in the chat. And Valentin, I think you're putting up the visual just for 2 minutes. There we go. And then please know that straight after the evaluation, we will move over into the closing of the forum. So please stay with us. It's gonna be a short closing where we want to give space to some of the people involved in the forum to provide some reflections. So yeah, please do the evaluation now and speak in a moment. Okay. Thank you so much, dear participants. I think that was probably enough time to fill out the questionnaires. So now let's move to the closing. It feels like we had this forum forever, at least from our perspective. So now we have reached the very end, and we would like to take this opportunity to listen to some of our co-organizing partners, to some of the speakers, to give us a few impressions, and then I think we can conclude the forum. So I will now hand over to our head of office, Mr. Nikolai Pomoshnikov, to moderate